First up, fighting out of the red corner, standing 165 centimeters at 66 kilograms, 4 wins, 3 losses, 3 by KO. Representing Family Fight Team all the way from Sao Paulo, Brazil, by way of Sydney, Brendo Santos. And his opponent here in the blue, 181 centimeters at 66 kilograms, 2 wins, 0 losses. Representing City Kickboxing, Julian Schlouch. Ladies and gentlemen, 3 by 5 minute rounds, 66 kilograms.
Here we go, fight number 2 about to get underway. Julian Schlouch in the blue corner. Brendo Santos in the red. Both fighters weighing in on or around 66 kilos, the featherweight limit.
Very different frames, though.
Incredibly. I mean, Santos is short and probably as wide as he is long. Schlouch using that height and reach advantage at the moment. Using that, and we mentioned it, I mean, the people on UFC Fight Pass might not have tuned into CSN.watch earlier, but if you did, you would have seen that this is very much a CKB tactic. You use that long left hand just to measure your distance, just to keep your opponent guessing.
Yeah, and it's that combined with the feints from the other side, right? The twitching of the right shoulder, the twitching of the right hip, really keeps your opponents guessing. You never know when it's a feint or whether that shot's actually going to come out firing. Santos doing a pretty good job just hurting him against the fence. You imagine he's going to try to work his way in.
Yeah, he's just pressing forward, cutting the angles, waiting for the right moment to pounce.
Yeah, and Schlouch doing a really good job working behind that jab. Works his way into a single, but Santos is able to shrug him off.
Yeah, he didn't quite land it, so he did throw that shoot from behind that straight right. Just keeping Santos at bay with that teep. Stabbing up into the stomach. Nice and long Schlouch. He's no slouch.
Hey, look at you. Oof. Yeah, he's incredibly tall for a featherweight. He's got really good movement as well, right? He's not getting backed up to the fence. He's getting close and he's circling out, which is very important against a guy like Santos, so you have to assume he's going to come in low and swinging.
So Schlouch there threw the lead leg, or the rear leg kick, and ate an inside leg kick as he did it, which took him off balance and momentarily had him touching the canvas.
Lands a really nice right hand, just rolls it up over the top shoulder.
Just probing with that lead hand. And feinting with those hips. He keeps twitching, feinting that hip. He's landed a good few teeps, and Santos says, bring it on.
The same takedown attempt there. Santos doing a really good job reading it, just framing out.
Yeah, he looped that right hand a bit more than he did in the prior one. He went up straight with the 2, but this time he looped it round to maybe give him that split second more.
Santos finds a little left hook there. Yeah, a little bit of a low blow there.
Yeah, that teeth a little bit low. Santos might regret calling for more teeps from Schlouch after that one.
Be careful what you ask for. Seems okay, just a little touch. Looks like he's ready to go.
Soft warning there from the referee. Schlouch picks up where he left off.
Yeah, sitting behind that jab.
Seems to be a bit more energy and a bit more urgency from Schlouch, though, after that pause in the action. He's moving a little bit quicker.
Yeah, Santos closed the gap a little bit there. Yeah, and there's that same left hook he landed. And that's a dangerous man to have inside.
It is. He just seems a little bit twitchy on the inside. He needs to just plant his feet a little bit more when he's throwing those shots. He's biting on every feint that Schlouch throws.
Yeah, but he's doing a good job defensively dealing with that jab. He's parrying.
Staying on the outside.
Yeah. Sometimes biting on a feint is not necessarily incorrect.
Schlouch remaining busy, circling, using the full width of that cage.
Yeah, Santos just cutting him off. Imagine we'll see a little bit more activity from Santos towards the end of the round just to secure it. Even though Schlouch hasn't landed any big shots, he's kind of been the busier fighter. And in a close round like this, when no one's landed much, that is often the deciding factor.
Nice inside leg kick there from Santos.
I like how busy he is with the hands on the outside, Santos. He's doing some pretty unorthodox movements, but that can be a very good way to hide your shots.
He's starting to find some success with that inside leg kick. I wonder whether he's going to start to use that and capitalize on that when he has Schlouch off balance, whether he'll be able to throw that big right over the top once he's landed it. Schlouch steadfast in his approach.
Santos cutting him off, and that's a very impressive head kick against such a height difference.
Yeah. Santos looking incredibly focused.
Yeah, he's dialed in, man. And not a lot of change of pace over the 5 minutes. These boys haven't slowed down at all.
So it's Schlouch now pressing the action towards the end of the round, but Santos
here he comes.
lands a good flurry of his own.
Nice. And a pretty tough round to score. Neither boy is doing a lot of damage.
Yeah, they didn't really give each other anything massively to worry about.
Yeah,
I mean, we saw a good few right hands from Schlouch.
Yeah. Schlouch definitely the busier of the two.
There's that good overhand right. And that teep, he did land that teep. He was quite successful that teep early on.
That's true.
But there's that left hook, the dangerous left hook from Brendo Santos that he found a home for a couple of times.
Yeah, Schlouch to defend well, but yeah, you're right. That shot did look like it went through a little bit.
Second round underway. Julian Schlouch from CKB in the blue corner. Brendo Santos from Family Fight Team in the red. Santos commanding the center of the cage at the moment with Schlouch pressing forward, utilizing that long guard. Really poking that jab out there. Pressure in the inside leg, the inside of the front leg of Santos.
Yeah, and like we said, Santos doing a good job just staying just outside of range.
There's that attempted inside leg kick from Santos once more.
Yeah, and Santos once again hurting him to the fence. I like to see him use these opportunities a little bit more when Schlouch is backed up. Really push the pace, try to get in his face a little bit.
Yeah, I'd like for there to be an end product to this forward pressure. I mean, he's pushing forward and then not really doing much with it. In actuality, Schlouch is preventing him from getting in and from landing, which is fair, but he needs to take a risk.
Yeah, for sure. You don't want to sit behind. You don't want to have a guy sit behind the jab the whole round and steal it away with that kind of activity. You know, not to say that's bad activity, but you really need to be trying to work your way in. Especially as the smaller, shorter guy, your success is going to come in that pocket. Nice jab there.
Teep finding a home for Schlouch once more, and there's that inside leg kick that Santos has thrown a few times thus far. Santos cutting him off, but again, not really doing anything with it.
Yeah, just can't quite seem to find him at the end there. But to the credit of Schlouch, he's doing a very good job getting out the way. circling and cutting angles and firing shots from that angle to keep Santos guessing.
I mean, Schlouch is probably going to be quite happy to sit here on the back foot and just land the odd shot.
Yeah, you got to imagine so.
He'll push through on points if it stays this way. But there we go. Santos finally throwing something.
Yeah, that's a bit of a Santos. A lot of those shots were taken on the guard from Schlouch. A little bit of a slip.
A couple of them finding their way through. Schlouch desperately trying to hold on to that clinch.
Yeah, and this is better from Santos. And you hear the corner calling for activity. They want him pressing forward just like that.
I mean, when you find that amount of success, why not keep doing it? You've got to think at some point that Schlouch might actually go on the offensive.
There you go. Yeah, to be fair, he is trying. Santos is just doing a really good job sliding out of the way. I'd love to see a second phase from Schlouch. You know, pop something in, slide back a little bit, draw Santos forward, and then fire something back.
Build on what he's doing.
He's more or less abandoned the takedown attempts this round as well, which I think is, well, maybe not a mistake, because Santos did defend them really well, but even just having that threat can open up a lot in the striking, you know?
Here we go. Let's see what they can do in the pocket.
Schlouch does a good job getting into that clinch.
He seemed to have that clinch nice and tight. It's a shame he let go of it. That stiff jab worked its way through the guard of Brendo Santos.
Clash of shins there.
That will not feel good in the morning. 30 seconds remaining in this second round.
30 seconds.
Schlouch just slowly now pushing forward in a slight reversal of roles with Santos backed up slightly against the cage.
Yeah, and that's more of what he needs, right? Santos is doing a good job sliding out of the way. If you have him backed up against the fence, maybe Schlouch will be a bit more content to sit down on those shots and put some power in.
He did then just allow Santos just to move forward. And
yeah, Santos trying to...
There's that left hook.
Put a bit of activity, and that was a nice stiff jab there by Schlouch. A nice right hand as well. Yeah, very cool. Good shots there at the end of the round.
Difficult one to judge. Not a huge amount of activity. I mean, well, there was a lot of movement, but not a lot from a judging perspective. I think this was probably the busiest we saw them, and probably the highest scoring exchange in that round, with Brendo Santos really pushing the pace halfway through that second round, landing some nice heavy shots. A lot of them were falling on the guard, but there were a couple that made their way through. Yeah, very good defensive effort there from Schlouch. Keeping that guard up nice and high, rolling with those shots, taking a lot on the forearms. Third and final round underway. Julian Schlouch pressing forward, stabbing Teep up the center. And perhaps another blow drifting a little bit low there. Brendo Santos happy to continue on though. Yes. Schlouch definitely the busier of the two. But what percentage of these shots are really landing flush? You know, well, a few teeps, a few right hands over the top. There's a lot of feinting, and then maybe one or two bouncing off the guard. Nothing of real significance thrown thus far from either fighter throughout 11 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, they're trying, to be fair. I think that's the problem when it's so evenly matched, you know? Santos pushing forward, cutting Schlouch off. And that's where he's had a lot of success, right? When he backs Schlouch up against the fence, he's been able to throw a little bit more recklessly. Nice little jab to the body there.
But other than a couple of bursts where he's thrown those left hooks, and those left hooks do look so dangerous. There, like that. Schlouch looks quite comfortable on the back foot, even being backed up with the threat of that left hook and the incoming Santos. He looks quite comfortable here.
He does, he does. Very composed, going forward or going backwards.
Santos doing well to get his guard up to prevent that head kick from finding its target. Nice probing jab there from Julian Schlouch.
And here Santos backs him up against the fence again. We'll see if he dips low and comes up high. There you go. But then he backs up and lets Schlouch off the hook a little bit, you know? Yeah, that's better from Santos. He's got some speed in those hands when he's throwing them in combinations. Just struggling to pin Schlouch down.
Seems to be a little bit more intent in his forward movement now. Nice rip to the body.
Yeah, and this is better from Santos, staying toe-to-toe.
He's just doing so well to cut off those angles. Looping overhand right. But Schlouch circling well, moving well, staying as elusive as ever. Do you know what this fight reminds me of a little bit?
Tell me.
Adesanya versus Yoel Romero, where there was a lot of sort of posturing and a lot of feinting, but not a huge amount of shots actually landed.
Yeah, the boys are trying.
I'm not, listen.
Yeah, no,
listen,
I
listen.
feel you. I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. And here Santos charging forward. That's more of what he needs. He needs to put Schlouch up against the fence and rip that body. Schlouch is so sharp with his footwork as well, though. It's so hard to pin a guy down when he's so good at moving laterally. Especially when he's sitting behind the jab like that.
Even with your ability to cut off those angles the way Santos is doing, it's still so difficult. He's such an elusive, slippery fighter. And you see him there that time. Oh, that was a nice right overhand.
Santos goes back to the body. Schlouch circling out.
Bit of blood from the left nostril of Santos.
And I think Santos feels a bit more urgency here. I think he knows he needs to make a bit of a punctuation.
Here we go.
Ties up, little elbow.
Nice elbow on the break.
But this is what he needed in round 1 and 2. He might have let Schlouch get away with a... Oh, he may have let he may have let those 2 rounds go to Schlouch. Nice inside low kick there.
Yeah. Then he hits that jab, targets the body with a 2. Just continuing to poke that jab and that teep out. And like you said earlier, it's working for him. That left kick works its way underneath the elbow. Santos possibly feeling that one. I reckon we're going to see Santos explode here in the last 30 seconds.
Put a bit of a punctuation on the performance. Oi, a little jumping knee. Yeah, Schlouch circling out. A little bit of a low blow. Time still going. No, it's not stopped.
Lovely jabs here from Schlouch.
Nice.
Short hook.
Yeah, little short shots from Santos. 10 seconds to go. This is what we wanted, hey?
Yeah. Lovely finish there from Santos. Unfortunately, most likely a little bit too late on in the proceedings for it to make any real difference.
Yeah, you got to imagine the activity of Schlouch in the first 2 rounds was enough to take it.
Yeah.
We'll see what the judges think, though.
So here's that. I think this is that ending sequence. Santos able to close that distance, rip to the body. Lovely short shots there. And I think he throws an up elbow at some point just after this exchange. Don't know if the replay will go on long enough, but there we go. There's that boxing on the inside that we wanted to see from Santos.
Yeah, that's more of what you want.
Because look how well it suits him, and look how much success he found with it.
Yeah, he's got power, man. When he plants his feet, he's able to throw. He's having a lot of success. Just the lateral movement of Julian Schlouch. Very hard to deal with, very hard to catch.
Who's doing press-ups in the cage? After 3 rounds, we have a decision. Your winner, fighting out of the blue corner, Julian Schlouch.
The jabs and teeps of Julian Schlouch definitely did enough to earn him that unanimous decision victory.